Against former Cincinnati City Councilman P.G. Sittenfeld will not be dismissed, and his federal corruption trial will not end by the holiday weekend as first expected. David Winter has been covering the courtroom, and since day one, he joins us now with the latest developments. David.
Paula, the prosecution rested today, and as is often the case, the defense moved immediately for a dismissal of all charges, citing that the prosecution had not presented enough evidence to prove its case. Well, the judge denied that motion, and then he said that he wanted both the defense and the prosecution to deliver their closing arguments on Tuesday after the holiday weekend so the jury could see this case with fresh eyes.
All eyes on this seventh day of the trial were on the prosecution's final two witnesses. Jared Camras, Sittenfeld's former campaign consultant, testified PG's strategy for fundraising was to target as potential donors anyone who had ongoing business with the city and those who had replied to requests for proposals. He said PG called these transactional donors. Camras said he received an email from PG in 2018 very concerned about Chris Smitherman running against him for mayor, writing, "We should stop developers from supporting both of us." Camras said PG would look more favorably to those who donated to him and only him. The defense asked Camras, "It's permissible by law to solicit money from people who have or have had business before the city, right? And there was nothing illegal or impermissible said in your conversations with PG, right?" Camras replied, "Right." Laura Brunner, president and CEO of the Cincinnati Port Authority, testified Chinnedum and Dukeway's plans for 435 Elm were never satisfactory or complete and lacked, among other things, a qualified development team. Brunner said PG wanted me to enter into an agreement with Chin, and he wanted the sale to be as close to $1 as possible. Brunner said PG's calls became more frequent and aggressive. She said, "He wanted me to enter into an agreement with Mr. Ndukwe whether I thought it was a good idea or not." The defense's first witness is former city solicitor and current acting city manager John Kerp. Trying to normalize Sittenfeld's actions regarding 435 Elm, the defense had Kerp testify PG was one of the more engaged council members who regularly visited him, and Laura Brunner met frequently with other council members as well.
And then we hit a roadblock. The prosecutor wanted to ask John Kerp about his conversations with his client, Chinnedum and Dukeway, but Kerp refused, citing attorney-client privilege. It stalled the case for now, and it's yet another example of why this trial is taking days longer than had originally been anticipated. Reporting live from downtown Cincinnati at the federal courthouse, David Winter, back to you.
Thank you, David. And we want to remind you again that the jury is expected to begin deliberations next Wednesday.